Brooklyn Independent Television.
My name is Michael Bates, and I am a double bassist and composer. I live in Brooklyn, originally from Vancouver, Canada. I moved to New York about 10 years ago, largely to pursue a career in playing the bass and writing music and playing with a lot of the amazing musicians that live in this city. One of the big focuses for me, and one of the most rewarding aspects of being a musician for me, is composing and writing my own music. I have 5 CDs out under my name, and I've played on lots of others. You know, at times bass players are in demand, so I'm lucky that way. I've focused on getting my band out all over the world, and every year I try to get to Europe and tour at least twice. I have a band that has toured for a long time called Outside Sources. We've done, you know, like been to Europe, Belgium, Switzerland, Germany. I was really lucky that last year I got to go to China and Hong Kong and Korea, and I toured with some French musicians there. I've been really lucky. I've managed to see a lot of the world largely through playing the bass. It's been great. I just put out a new album. It's called Acrobat, music for and by Dmitri Shostakovich. It's on Sunnyside Records, including me, 5 musicians that are really incredible, and I think some of the best players in the world, in my opinion. Tom Rainey on drums, Chris Speed on saxophone and clarinet, Russ Johnson on trumpet, and Russ Lossing playing Fender Rhodes and piano. It's a tribute of sorts to one of my musical heroes, Dmitri Shostakovich, who is a Russian classical composer who died in the early 1970s. We do just one piece of his on the album. That's the music by Shostakovich. It's called The Dance of Death. It's the 4th movement of the piano trio in E minor. The rest of the music that we recorded are largely my own compositions. I spent a lot of time studying his music and taking sounds and melodies that might have been written by him or in his style, and then wrote pieces for jazz quintet. But even the piece that we did of his is largely through my own filter and the filter of the musicians in the band. So it doesn't sound very classical music like. He's been an influence of mine for a long time. I kind of feel like in some ways I could have called all my last records music for it by Dmitri Shostakovich. So in some ways this is the one that I decided to just be upfront and honest about it and be very clear about where my influences lie.
Yeah. Like for the separate. So I'm kind of just going for like stuff that we already have together, most of us. And we'll go to a piano solo, just time no changes piano solo. For emerging artists getting out of school, I think that the most important thing is to work on your craft and have a clear idea of what it is you're looking for. And that's easy to say, not always easy to find. You have to play as many gigs as you can, you have to play with as many people as you can, you have to listen, and you have to be clear about what it is you're after.
So a couple of solos.
Yeah.
And then we come back to B.
So you go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. 1, 2, 1.
All right.
I think it's very easy to think you're busy because you're playing lots of sessions or whatever, but you have a sort of a long-term idea of what you're trying to put out there. I'd say probably the #1 thing is write your own music, because I think that's where your identity will come from. The standards and music that is part of what has made up the jazz canon is essential. It's so important, and it's where all the ideas sort of stem from, but we also have to look to the future and write and express ourselves.
how we're gonna end.
In the future, I'm just kind of hoping it's an extension of what I'm doing now. You know, ideally, it would be great to be able to do the things I'm doing and have just a more immediate level of success, or you know, opportunities to take it on the road and make it easier. Like, you know, at sort of when you're at the beginning stages or in the early stages of a career, you have to work hard for every aspect, which I like. I don't mind too much, but it would be nice after a certain amount of time for there to be interest in what you're doing enough that you'd say, okay, I have a new record, I have this new band, and I'm gonna go on the road, and people say yes. Or, I mean, imagine this for an artist, having people come and ask you to go and do things.
Follow us on Twitter at BK Independent TV.